welcome back to the channel jkworld. We are continuing our book reading series and I am Junaid. So today we are diving into the chapter 2 of Atomic Habit by James Clear. How your habits shape your identity. In this chapter we explore the powerful link between what you repeatedly do and the person you believe yourself to be. It's not just about building better habits, it's about becoming the kind of person who naturally lives them out. Let's open the chapter and see how small reaction can transform not only our routines but also our very sense of self. So diving into the chapter 2, uh, how your habits shape your identity. So let's why it is so easy to repeat bad habits and so hard form good ones. Few things can have a more powerful impact on your life than improving your daily habits, and it is likely that is time next year you will be doing the same thing rather than something better. It often feels difficult to keep good habits going for more than a few days, even with sincere effort and the occasional burst of motivation. Habits like exercise, meditation, journaling, and cooking are reasonable for a day or two and of then become a hassle. However, once your habits are established, they seem to stick around forever, especially the unwanted ones. Despite our habits in tensions, unhealthy habits like eating junk food, watching too much television, procrastinating, and smoking can feel impossible to break. Changing our habits is challenging for two reasons. One is we try to change the wrong thing, and second is we try to change our habits in the wrong way. In this chapter I will address the first point. In the chapter in the chapter that follow I will answer the second. Our first mistake is that we try to change the wrong things. To understand what I mean, consider what there are three levels at which change can occur. You can imagine them like the layers of an onion. The first layer is changing your outcomes. This level is concerned with changing your result, losing weight, publishing a book, winning a championship. Most of the goals you set are associated with this level of changing. The second is changing your process. This level is concerned with changing your habits and system, implementing a new routine at the gym, decluttering your desk for better workflow, developing a meditation practice. Most of the habits you build are associated with this level. The third and distinct layer is changing your identity. This level is concerned with changing your habits, changing your beliefs, your worldview, your self image, your judgment about yourself and others. Most of the beliefs, assumptions, and bases you hold are associated with this level. Outcomes are about what you get, process are about what you do. So, identity is about what you believe when it comes to building habits that last, when it's come to building a system of 1% improvements. The problem is not that one level is better or worse than another. All levels of change are useful in their own way. The problem is the direction of change. Many people being the process of changing their habits by focusing on what they want to achieve. This leads us to outcome based habits. The alternative is to build identity based habits. With this approach, we start by focusing on how we wish to become. So imagine two people resetting a cigarette. When offered a smoke, the first person said, "No, thanks, I am trying to quit." It sounds like a reasonable response, but this person still believe they are a smoker who is trying to be something else. They are hoping their behavior will change while carrying around the same beliefs. The second person declined by saying, "No thanks, I am not a smoker." It's small difference, but this statement signals a shift in identity. Smoking was part of their former life, not their current one. They no longer identify as someone who smokes. Most people don't even consider identity change when they set out to improve. They just think, "I want to be a skinny outcome, and if I stick to this diet, then I will be skinny." Process. They, they set goals and determine the actions they should take to achieve those goals without considering the beliefs that drive their actions. They never shift the way they look at themselves, and they don't realize that their old identity can subtage their new plans or change. Behind every system of action or system of beliefs, the system of democracy is founded on beliefs like freedom, majority rules, rule, and social equality. The system of a dictatorship has a very different set of beliefs like absolute authority and strict obedience. You can imagine many ways to try to get more people to vote in a democracy, but such behavior change would never get off the ground in a dictatorship. That is not the identity of the system. Voting is a behavior that is impossible under a certain set of beliefs. A similar pattern exists whether we are discussing individual or generation generations of societies. There are a set of beliefs and assumptions that shape the system and identity behind the habits. Behavior not is incongruent with the self will not last. You may want more money, but if your identity is someone who consumes rather than creates, then you will continue to be pulled towards spending rather than earning. You may want better health, but if you continue to prioritize comfort over accomplishment, you will be drawn to it rather than training. It's hard to change your habits if you never change the underlying beliefs that lead to your past behavior. You have a new goal and a new plan, but you haven't changed. So, who you are. The story of Brian Clark, an entrepreneur from Boulder, Colorado, provides a good example. For as long as I can remember, I will chewed by fingernails. Clark and told me it started as a nervous habit when I was young, and then morphed into an undesirable grooming ritual. One day, I realized to stop chewing my nails until they grew out a bit through mindful willpower. along, I managed to do it. Then Clark did something surprising. I asked my wife to schedule my first ever shift ever, my first ever manicure. He said, my thought was that if I started paying to maintain my nails, I wouldn't chew them. And it worked, but not for the momentary reason. What happened was the manicure made my fingers look really nice for the first time. The manicurist even said that other than the chewing, I had really healthy, attractive nails. Suddenly, I was proud of my proud of my uh, fingernails, and even though that's something I had never aspired to, it made all the difference. I will never chew my nails since, not even single close call. And it's because I know take pride in properly caring for them. The ultimate form of instinct, instincts motivation is when a habit becomes part of your identity. It's one thing to say I am the type of person who want this. It's something very different to say I am the type of person who is this. So the more pride you have in particular aspect of your identity, the more motivated you will be to maintain the habits associated with it. If you are proud of how your hair looks, you will develop all sorts of habits to care for and maintain it. If you are proud of your size of your biceps, you will make sure you never skip an upper body workout. If you are proud of your skills you need, you will be more likely to spend hours. So, knitting each week, once your pride gets involved, you will fight tooth tooth and nails to maintain your habit. So, true behavior changes identity, change you might start a habit because of motivation, but the only reason you will stick with one is that it become part of your identity. Anyone can convey themselves to visit the gym or eat healthy once or twice, but if you don't shift the beliefs behind the behavior, then it is hard to stick with long term changes. Improvement are only temporary until they become a part of who you are. The goal is not to read a book, the goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon, the goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument, the goal is to become a musician. Your behavior are usually a reflection of your identity. What you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consecutively or non consecutively. Research has shown that once a person believes in a particular aspect of their identity, they are more likely to act in alignment with that beliefs. For example, people who identified as being a voter were more likely to vote than those who simply claimed voting was an action they wanted to perform. Similarly, the person who incorporates exercise into their identity does not have to convince themselves to train. Doing the right thing is easy after all when your behavior and your identity are fully aligned. You are no longer pursuing behavior change. You are simply acting like type of person you already believes yourself to be. Like all accept of habits formation, this too is a double-edged sword word. When working for you, identity change can be a powerful force for self-improvement. When working against you, thought identity change can be a course. Once you have adapted an identity, it can be easy to let your allegiance to it impact your ability to change. Many people walk through life in consecutive slumber, blinding following and the norms attached to their identity. So I am troubled with direction. I am not a morning person. I am bad at remembering people's name. I am always late. I am not good with technology. I am horrible at math. And thousands other variations. When you have repeated a story to yourself for years, is it is easy to slide into these mental grow mental growths and accept them as a fact. It time to you being to resist certain actions become because that's not who I am. There is internal pleasure to maintain your self image and behave in a way that is consistent with your beliefs. You find whatever way you can to avoid construct construct constructing constructing yourself constructing yourself. The more deeply a thought of or action is tied to your identity, the more difficult it is to change it. It can feel comfortable to believe what your culture believes, group identity, or to do what upholds your self image, personal identity, even if it's wrong. The biggest barrier to positive change at any level, individual, team, society, is identity conflict. Good habits can make rational sense, but if they conflict with your identity, you will fail to put them into action. So today's episode is so long, you can understand. I have some mistakes. Let it go. I will improve my mistakes. Improve my like improving for less mistakes. So one any given day, you may struggle with your habits because you are too busy or too tired or too overwhelmed or hundreds of other reasons. Over the long run, however, the real reason you fail to stick with habits is that your self image gets in the way. This is why you can get too attached to one version of your identity. Progress you requires unlearning. Become the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. The brings us to an important question. If your beliefs and worldview plays such an important role in your behavior, where do they come from in the first place? How exactly is your identity formed, and how can you emphasize new aspect of your identity that serve you and gradually erase the pieces that hide you. So this is a chapter, and this is a topic for today's we cover, and we will read another topic, another chapter. So that's it. So that's bring us to the end of this chapter. How your habits shape your identity. Remember, every small action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. If you enjoyed today's reading, so please like this video, share with someone who might benefits, and subscribe to the channel uh, for don't miss any episode. So tomorrow we will dive into chapter. So yeah, chapter. And before we go, check out Yoycol is a custom clothing brand of company. You will start a business like they will operate everything like a call, shipping, and printing designs on the hoodies and clothes. Everything they will manage. You just marketing the product, like you create own your Shopify account and place them into the Shopify account and marketing, and you get order. They will ship and design your clothes and ship them, and everything they will manage. You can start your new business. I will also start. If you go check link in description, please use my link for discount. So let's check it out. Yeah, that's it. If you enjoy this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel of JK World. So I'm signing off, Mr. Chireth Urf JK. So bye bye guys. See you in next episode of book reading. So bye bye. See you.